Morning, people. This is Scott Woods, the freight broker trainer. Once again, I'm coming to you live from Brush, Colorado. Well, I guess it's not live because you won't see this until it goes up on YouTube. If you're following my videos like a lot of people do, because quite frankly, I'm going to teach you more about brokering freight on YouTube with little tidbits than you're going to learn by paying 90% of these people out there that are blowing smoke up your ass. All right? Feel a little haggard. I'm on my road trip visiting some of my customers and some of my carriers, that relationship building that I'm talking about, and drove about 1,200 miles in the last 24 hours, and it just gets harder as you get older. My back is killing me, but I only got about 200 miles to go, and I'm going to be in Denver. Get me a hotel room and go get me a shave somewhere and feel like a new person. But I want you to pay attention to what I'm talking about. As I was driving last night, trying to stay awake, besides getting jacked up on Red Bull and stuff like that, I listen to George Norrie, like Coast to Coast AM, and I'll read these Facebook groups, okay? And those are the social media groups with trucking, freight brokering, what have you. And there were a couple of conversations that are going on, basically about rate negotiations, fuel surcharges. And there was one also going on about basically and I could tell the guy's a new broker. He's like, I'm tired of trucks falling out on me. I'm going to start charging them. If they don't, if they drop off my load after they book it, then I'm going to send them an invoice. And if they don't pay it, I'm going to send them to collections. I responded, well, good luck trying to get your money there, genius, because obviously he doesn't know what and how collections work. And it's just a waste of his time. He should just go find another truck. And you're going to hear the same argument for trucks all the time, that they'll make a deal on a load, and they're waiting on the rate confirmation, and the broker doesn't send it to them. Usually, that's dealing with somebody, one of these big chop shop brokerages, that they find a better deal and they save, a little money on the load. They make an extra $100 or $200, then they'll write that truck and forget about this other truck that they already promised a load to. That's not how you build a relationship. A lot of you new guys, you experience so many problems as you get into this because, A, you're not trained properly. You don't know a damn thing about the industry. All right? And I'm going to give you a few little tidbits, tools, and tricks once again in this video. Because like I tell you, it's about relationships. All right? Now, what I'm talking about is you guys will go out and get your broker's license, your bond, your BOC3. Boom! You're in business. Well, that's a recipe for bankruptcy for the greater majority of you guys because you don't know what you're doing. All right? I see a lot of guys posting up, oh, how do I find shippers? How do I find shippers? Man, shippers ain't hard to find. Shippers are easy to find. Good shippers are hard to find, and you have to know how to identify them once you get them. A lot of you guys are going to start off moving cheap produce, onions, potatoes, peppers, melons, garbage. It's garbage freight. You're going to call all day long to make $100 on the load. You're going to be begging trucks to take it. You think that you found this shipper, it's got this great freight, so you put it up there. I got news for you. All these trucks know those shippers. They've loaded at all these melon huts before. They've loaded in all these onion fields and all those potatoes, and it doesn't matter if they're coming out of Ontario, Oregon, Blackwell, Idaho, Monte Vista, Colorado, Hatch, New Mexico, or down in Florida. Well, right now it's late March, early April. You got produce coming across the border in McAllen, down in the Golden Triangle. It's still coming across the border, in Nogales, Arizona, in the Yuma area, Southern California, because that transition hasn't hit yet. And you still got them nasty potatoes and onions coming out. Well, first thing, when you're dealing with rate negotiations, you got to understand, you're on the bottom of the totem pole. The broker and the trucking company is when you're getting that freight. Because that guy who's got those onions or that guy that's got those potatoes and melons, he's making money off your ass. He's pimping you out and you don't even know it. The rate he's giving you is basically he's going to get that rate. He'll have you secure the truck, and I'm just going to use a random number like $5,000. Okay, so the load's going to pay $5,000 to you from that shipper. Well, he's going to mark that up to whoever he's selling that stuff to, whatever big food chain or grocery store. He's going to charge them $6,500. All right, because he's padding his profit, because that produce he's got is garbage. It ain't worth nothing. The freight cost more than the load of produce. They want to get the cheapest truck available, because what's going to happen is this: if that truck breaks down and that produce goes bad, he doesn't care. He's making money off of it. Now you're like, well, how's he making money if that produce goes bad? Because he's going to file a claim against you and that truck, and he wholesaled it to that grocery chain or to that big produce distributor. But he's going to file a claim for the retail price, so he still gets his money. It doesn't matter to him. All right, so when you're moving that cheap crap, you're going to work all day long and not hardly make any money on it. All right, now I actually learned about values, and that's what we're talking about is values of service. All right, I learned about values when I got out of the Army about 35 years ago. I had a part-time job waiting tables. I had a couple kids to feed, and I wanted to give them something a little bit better. And the job I was working, I just wasn't getting the kind of money I wanted. All right, well, I learned as a waiter that I'm going to run back and forth all day long for this table, and the guy that runs me like a freaking dog is going to give me the cheapest tip. The guy, when I was bartending, who wants the strongest drink is going to give me the cheapest tip. All right, and that's where it equates to service. What is your service worth to the truck? What is your service worth to the shipper? I mean, when you guys are new brokers especially, you're calling up, or new agents, I should say. I mean, a lot of you guys consider yourselves brokers, but you're agents. You're calling people and you're trying to locate your first shippers. Well, I got news for you. They've heard everything. They've seen everything. You're just the latest buckle bunny at the rodeo with your apple bottom or Miss Me jeans on and your new pair of Ariats, and they're the country girls that are sitting over there against the corral laughing at your ass because you don't even know what a lariat is. Now, I understand I'm speaking some language that a lot of you people don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Research it. You might want to learn. And that's what I'm talking about, is continuous education and learning. You need to learn about your industry. Start off in a niche. All right? Learn about the produce industry. It's much more than just negotiating a rate with a truck. All right? It's much more than just negotiating a rate with a shipper. Learn about the industry and you'll move more freight if you learn the inner workings of it and how it actually goes about. Now, another thing, continuing on with the relationships. All right, that guy I was telling you about, he's going to build the trucking companies and things like that. This guy's going to be out of business before he's in business. All right. I mean, that's not a good way to build relationships and nurture those relationships. I got a great relationship with my trucks, and I'll give you, for instance, I don't move produce. I haven't moved that shit in years. But I do have a couple agents that are new, that's what they move. And, basically, there was a couple of guys that they're trying to beat up and they're moving, and it was stone fruits. It's a little bit better produce. You can get higher money on it, but rates have been kind of all over the place high this year, so it's harder for you produce junkies to get a higher rate. They're pretty much maxed out on their rates as it is to where they can make money. So like I told them the other day, I got on the phone with one of the trucks and I said, here's how it goes. All right, I'm going to give you this damn load. Now, I'm not giving him the shipper, and he probably knows the damn shipper anyway, but I'm going to give you this load. And we have to run credit on the shipper to make sure he's going to pay his damn bill. We got to still process his paperwork through the office, and we're going to assume a little bit of liability on this shit. So I wanted the agent to make some money. I'll forego the brokerage side. So I said, we're going to make at least $150 on this load. All right. Or I'm not going to let my agent write it. So I'm going to let him make $150 that'll cover the office cost, and my agent will make $50 to put in his pocket for calling around talking to these damn trucks all day. Okay. And that's all he's going to make. You know, you can see what I'm going to invoice the customer. If you want the load, take the load. If not, then go on down the road. Not trying to be, you know, a jerk to you, but that's just how it is. You know, I mean, there's a natural combative relationship between trucks and brokers, and all trucks think brokers are trying to screw them. And a lot of the brokers out there, they wouldn't know they don't know the least little bit about the truck side, you know, from what it is, either loading that load and sitting there for 8 hours, especially at these produce guys while you're waiting for it to come in or whatnot. They don't know what goes around, you know, and all the expenses that you have and what their time is worth, you know. So they need to learn how to come to get some kind of little symbiotic relationship where everybody can speak the same language, understand and appreciate that. All right. So that guy I was talking about, as I said, he's going to be out of business before he's in business. Sometimes you got to take one for the team, you little rookie brokers. Let that truck make the money. Yeah, you ain't going to make hardly any money on this thing, but you emphasize to that truck that, hey, you're going to be on the other side of the country, and if I see you again, you got to hook me up and let me make some money. And, you know, a lot of times it's a handshake agreement, all right? It doesn't always work, but I've built more relationships with trucking companies like that than anything. Last thing I'm going to tell you is when you go doing your freight bids, and this will help you all right? Andrew Carnegie, some of you may or may not know who that is, but he was a steel magnate in the late 1800s and early 1900s. All right, he sold his steel plants to J.P. Morgan, and he sold them, and J.P. Morgan combined all of his with all the other steel plants he bought, and he created what is known as United States Steel, which is still around today. All right, now, damn cigarette went out. Anyway, Andrew Carnegie sold that to J.P. Morgan for $450 million in the early 1900s. In today's dollars, it'd be almost $1 trillion. This guy had more money than Bezos and Elon Musk combined. And they asked him what his secret to making money was. And he said, buy low, sell high. It's real easy. Buy low, sell high. All right, so you as a broker or broker agent, you have to bid your freight like a trucking company, then sell it like a broker on the lower side to make some money. It's not freaking rocket science. It's how you do it. A lot of you guys go in there bidding it like a broker, trying to be the cheapest guy on the block. You ain't gonna make no damn money this way. We're all in this to make money. That's why some of us make $500-600 grand a year, and some of us make 50 grand a year. All right. That's all I got to say about that. If you can't figure it out, well, it is what it is. Guys, I'm going to go get me a shave in a hotel, and then I'm going to go see one of my good friends who owns a big trucking company up here in Denver. Got about 50 trucks, all heavy haul. I'm going to see him tomorrow after I get some damn sleep and let the Red Bull wear off. This is Scott Woods. I'm the freight broker trainer. If you want to learn how to move freight correctly, go to my website, freightbrokertrainer.com. Give me a call, 888-854-6270. We have classes starting every 2 weeks online, 24 hours a day. You receive lifetime support, lifetime updates, lifetime mentoring. You know, I'll show you how to move it. It's fail-proof. I'm the most ripped-off guy in the industry. So take it or leave it. We'll see you. Everybody have a great day.